Good morning. It's still Monday. My timeline, Monday, December 28th. I did go back to sleep for a couple hours and crazy experience. I went to sleep and I started seeing, I guess, my higher self. Like the same image that I usually see when I meditate. And I happen to be, I sleep with my elephant. This is my elephant. I got her at IKEA, and she has a little baby elephant. She's so comfy. I put her underneath my neck, and it's like the perfect amount of pressure. So I put her underneath my neck, and I started seeing the purple and the blue, and the movements again. And I hadn't seen that for a while, and I attribute that to my higher self. You know, when I'm connecting. And I think a lot of it because I was probably putting pressure back here. And I think if you follow my videos and if you watched all of them, and I don't even know if I mentioned this in one of my videos, but I went to go see my acupuncturist, which I'm really sad to say that he actually had to close down his Garden Grove practice with everything that's been going on. And but he's still going to be doing some in Torrance, so I'm gonna try to hunt him down. But I went to him once, and it was one of those times where I was having a lot of like pain, and he put pressure right underneath here. And again, I tend to hold a lot of my stress in my lower head, upper shoulders, neck area, and he literally like was putting pressure points. Every time he put the pressure points, the brightness, like the colors were just so apparent, and the waves, it was just like colors, non-stop colors of like the purple and the blues and pinkish almost, and it was so peaceful and beautiful. And so last night when I decided to go back to bed, I didn't put any meditation music. I closed my door in case, you know, the spider, because the little sucker was gone. I don't know if I shared that in the last video, but I closed my door. I'm like, oh, I know you'll still get through, because it's still like a crack at the bottom. But I whispered, I was just like, just don't come in here. But so I didn't put on any meditation music. I just you know, got cozy and went to bed. But I put my elephant here, and I started seeing like the waves, and it was like, it was just filling up the whole space that I normally see. And then I started seeing it kind of, so I was doing that for a while, and it was the purple and the blue light in the center. And then all of a sudden, like the waves were like going to one corner, to the corner, lower left corner. And I don't know what that meant. And then I tried to position myself, like I think I mentioned before, I would go flat, and I tried to just position myself to see if I would get more of that message, because I'm thinking, this is the message, right? The spider and Chris from Minopon had mentioned that this is the message. And no. I didn't see anything different. I saw it more when I was leaning on the side. So I went back, and there was still, it's raining. But it was still, it was just that, and then I fell asleep. And I'm glad I went to sleep actually, because it really helped. And yeah. As you can see, I got that big old thing. I was able to get the panty liner off this morning, and that's probably what I needed to continue resting, because I tried to take it off before, and it still hurt when I would try to peel the panty liner, because it's sticky, right? It has that sticky side, and I just couldn't do it. So this morning that I got up, I actually had the songs came in as part of my, you know, alarm. Got an idea, went to the kitchen where my other computer is, and just started like, you know, working on that. And then as I was working on that, I started peeling the panty liner off and finally came off. So I was like, oh, thank goodness. You know, because I have the meeting in like an hour, and I didn't want to like wave high or anything with a panty liner stuck. So at least I wasn't able to take off the gauze. Okay, gauze. It's still stuck to my skin, and that's what I know is holding on to it's creating that seal, right? So I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna have to leave that on for a while, until it literally kind of peels off. So at least I was able to wrap a small band-aid around it. You can see the blood right there. You're like, ew, gross. To try to make sure it heals and it just solidifies before I try peeling it off, and then, you know, squirt fest. Don't want that. Purpose of this video. Part of my mini Yubi plan will continue to include tarot. Okay, it will continue to include tarot, and I wanted to take a couple moments to explain why. As crazy as it sounds, and people, even this new person, you know, cautions me, like, be careful with that, you know. I've heard it from other people, like, oh, I don't know about tarot, right? It supposedly originated from a game, blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, you know, believe what you want to believe. Believe what you want to believe, right? That's really what it is. Believe what you want to believe. This continues to be my conscious choice to tap into this, to get better at reading it for myself, right? Because I'm choosing to believe that it's a tool. I'm choosing to believe that it's a tool, regardless of how it originated. I'm choosing to believe, because I mean, if we just stuck to how things were originally created, then we wouldn't see any evolvement in anything, right? I mean, imagine if we stuck to the old school way of lighting a room, right? And now we have like LED lights and like these lights that respond to dimming, and remember clap on, clap off, or the ones that are linked to Alexa light on, right? Imagine if we never embraced the evolvement of stuff like that. We would be stuck in the original format of what it was used. So I really want to encourage you. I really want to challenge you to look at things differently. Look at things differently. Challenge old beliefs, right? Challenge even the new beliefs that are coming up, because it's not to say that everything that we hear is the truth. I even encourage you to challenge what I'm saying, right? The messages that I'm conveying. I encourage you to challenge it, because the whole point of this process is for you to find the truth for yourself. Because that's ultimately the truth that you're going to choose to believe, right? This is the choice that I'm choosing to believe. This is the path that I'm choosing to follow. And I'm seeing things unfold in front of me in ways that I'd never seen them unfold before. And it's making it harder to not accept it as part of my truth. Because these signs, I remember in church, I love my church, by the way. I mean, I haven't connected more so lately because there's this knowing that not everyone's ready, right? I don't want to confuse people. I don't want to cause them to stray or question, because it's, again, this whole concept of pushing too hard when people aren't ready. And when you push too hard, it scares people into a panic. It scares people when their own foundation of who they are is still not stable enough. It starts within, right? It starts within. How sure of yourself, so that once you know that you're sure of yourself enough that it doesn't matter what challenge comes your way, you're going to know how to navigate through it. You can choose to follow, you can choose to question, you can choose to stay. It's up to you. Anyways, backtrack. Tarot readings. It's just, that's just my choice. those of you who choose to follow or are curious or, you know, open to looking into that a little bit more and how to apply it to your life. Again, I am no expert. This is just from my experience, what I'm experiencing, how I'm looking at things, right? Because I'm even questioning it myself, or I have been questioning it myself to a certain degree. And now I'm learning more and more of how to interpret the messages, how to interpret the information that gets across, discerning what pertains to me and what doesn't, right? And that's what I run with. Excuse me. I am going to post the birth chart reading, Christina F. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but where her web page for her birth chart reading, because again, I mean, there's free birth charts online. If you know how to read them, good for you. I don't. And so I chose to invest in having someone do a little more research and explain that to me. I asked her to provide me a visual because I just happen to be a visual person. I'm so glad she did. And it sounds like, I don't know if I would have gotten the same type of information had I done it myself, right? Plus, I'm supporting a small business, right? Like, has such a beautiful heart. Why not, right? Helping each other out. Again, this sense of sharing this abundance. If you have the means to, great. She also is cognizant of what's going on around the world. And if you have a financial hardship, you just let her know and she'll work with you. She is amazing. But Miss Christina, she really, I feel like she really put her heart into sharing the information that she shared for me. And that was actually consistent with what my good friend who recommended her told me, that she is fascinated with this. She's learning about it. She dives all in, right? And tries to make that experience positive for you. And I really felt like that's what came across when I met with her. And I actually want to, I didn't get to do my past life regression this month for various reasons, but I think what I'll probably end up doing is investing in her again to do a follow-up to see kind of just to catch her up with what's been going on since the last time that I saw her, and kind of see where the planets are aligned now with my birth chart, and get a little more direction, like where to go next. But anyways, so tarot reading, astrology. I wanted to include astrology as well. So because it's tied into the tarot reading, they go off of your sun sign, ascending sign, and each person who does tarot, they will tell you. Well, I noticed that after I started questioning, I don't know if you guys remember that one time where I said, I'm like, I couldn't tell if they're doing sun sign or whatnot. I kid you not. I kid you not. Later that week, as I'm like listening to them, depending on how often the people that never really acknowledged what type of sign they did and wasn't posted anywhere, they made a reference. Oh, and by the way, I'm doing this, this is the type of sign that I tend to like gravitate to. It's like I'm asking for it, I'm putting it out there in the universe, and it's being answered for me. So anyways, so with the birth chart reading, I actually wrote down on a little card right behind my you are important, pass it on card that I copied from oh, I don't know, yes I do, another recommendation. If you guys haven't heard of You Are Loved, Pass It On. You Are Loved, Pass It On is a website created by this artist, and one of her callings or passions has been to create these really cool, positive, inspirational cards. You are loved. There's one, you are appreciated, you are generous, and she does, this is her artwork. And here's the website, and I'm gonna post it on the link description box as well, so you could check it out. She does them for free, and for her, that's her belief as to how she's contributing, to passing on the love to everybody. This is her mission, And so you click on the designs that you want. And I think there's like a max that you can pick. Type in your address, she will pay for the shipping, and you'll get your set to pass on to different people. So what a great, I mean, I haven't checked her website in a while, so I'm hoping this hasn't really affected her. But anyways, another great resource to have. So I didn't want to bombard her with ordering so many. So I used business cards, and I created different ones using like business card, So I paid for those out of my own pocket. I'm just like, oh, I want to have a variety, and I used a different, like I put one that says, God's got this, pass it on. Like, just other sayings to pass on to people. As a way to just promote encouragement, hang in there, love, acknowledgement. Random people on the street, sometimes they're, if you're buying something, I mean, now it's a little difficult to like pass stuff on because of the germs, but before all of this, because all this happened before, that's what I was doing. But anyways, focus. So on the back of that card, I put like my different, my sun sign, my ascending sign, my moon sign, Venus sign, everything that came up in my birth chart reading. And what I started doing is for the tarot readings, depending on my intuition for that week, depending on the message that was conveyed, if it resonated or not, I start off for sure with the sun sign. I know it says Gemini, but I also read Taurus because I'm a cusper, Gemini Taurus. May 22nd, and I believe it was May 21st where the cutoff is. And so I do read Taurus as well. And it happens to also be my Mars sign. I don't know all of these planets, like I don't remember what they each kind of focus on, aside from my sun sign and my ascending sign. My moon sign I know has to deal with like love also, I think, or Venus. Maybe. I know what North Node is. I remember Pluto. Still learning. Point being that I do look at the different tarot readings for those signs. If one doesn't resonate, and they tell, some people like Patricia 1111, she will tell you, I tend to do sun signs, but if it doesn't resonate with you, you might be, the energy might be coming from your ascending sign, or, and she'll direct you like, hey, try some of the other one. Chris from Minopon has always said, he's just like, I tell you guys, don't just rely on this one, go to the other signs. You will find something that resonates in the other signs. It's so true. Like sometimes the daily ones, I just let it play, and it just, I just take what resonates. I take what resonates, right? And some people might think, oh, well, you're covering all angles, right? Something is bound to like give way. If you want to choose to live, to believe that, by all means believe that. I'm just choosing to pick up what resonates. I know myself well enough to discern the difference, right? And not to have doubt. A lot of the things that have been coming up for me recently too is this idea of blockages, right? One of the reasons why I still listen to certain tarot, and not all of them, but just certain people, because sometimes they have, especially MJ. I think MJ, out of all of them, she is just amazing. She will take the time she channels so much energy, big picture stuff, mission, helping others, right? But I appreciate the fact that she constantly asks, what are the blocks and barriers, blocks and challenges? And that's the nugget. Those are the nuggets that will help you, right? Get to that next step. If you keep trying to manifest stuff, if you keep trying to write your intentions and nothing's happening, there's a blockage. There's something that's blocking you. And sometimes we don't even know it because we're living in this world. We're in it, right? There's so much going on around us, so many interactions, that sometimes we don't see it, or we're not at that point where we can pick it up for ourselves. And it's all tarot reading is a guide. That's all it is. It's a guide. It's not concrete in stone, this is going to happen for you, because free will is always at play, which changes it up. And so, but it's a guide. How you choose to use this tool is up to you, right? It's like the microwave. It's like the microwave. You can choose to continue to cook food stovetop, which tastes a lot better, by the way, but you know, or you can choose the microwave. You can choose, or fire, old school fire, if you're camping, right? Different feel, different taste, still end up with the same outcome almost, right? The microwave just kind of highlights, it's like it's just a different way, a different tool to get the same response. Faster, right? In this case, it is a little faster because it highlights certain things that you may not have noticed. And if you're open to looking within yourself, confronting yourself, your shadow self, right? Those parts of you that you struggle with, taking that information and say, you know what, that's right. Yeah, I tend to go through life doubting a lot. I tend to go through life in fear a lot. I tend to go through life living a certain way, performing a certain way. Maybe I don't speak my truth, right? I stay too quiet. Whatever it may be for you, if you are open enough to do the work, to open up those chakras, right? To really lean into the discomfort, as Miss Pima says, and push through, working on your mindset, changing it to tell yourself there is light at the end of the tunnel. You will see things to unfold. They will unfold. They will unfold. That's all I wanted to share. That was what is in my heart this morning. And yeah, I just wanted to share that. So my mini Yubi plan will continue to include tarot readings. It will continue to include learning more about the stars and the planets and how all of that impacts our lives, really, and continuing to find ways to bridge that gap with this whole healing self, and healing each other, and ultimately healing the world. That's a big task. But I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone in that, and there will be people that will come to me, that will be ready to jump on that challenge, jump on that boat with me, and work on this project with me. So yeah, that was it. You guys have a good one.